on this grill. I'm trying to get this upper section mounted. So this is a grill flipped around backwards on my sawhorse. I made these plates, you guys. I'm gonna put these right here. I'm gonna put a couple of rib nuts in my grill. We're gonna mount that there, and that'll give me something to mount to essentially. So I'll be able to weld to this piece to my bumper that's about right there. And I'll be able to undo 2 bolts, and that'll hold my upper section of my radiator or my grill. So what I've done now, you guys, so I ground off the paint off the top of my bumper, and I made these little plates here. Put a couple rib nuts in. I think I just showed you guys that. Put this little plate here, and I'm gonna have one more plate that kind of wraps up like this. I got a couple of scraps laying around somewhere. It's like some 1 inch by 3/16, I think. A little overkill for this bracket, but I already have it, so yeah. Oh, that might even be quarter actually. Yeah, it's quarter. But you guys can see at some point I've rolled a radius in there. Not sure what I was trying to do or what I was using it for, but I think I'm gonna put that right in there somewhere. I don't know, maybe along that lines or so. But I did get, this is another, that little piece right there. That is another piece of this. I just cut it at an angle there, cut it at an angle there. So I'll be able to weld around there. This will be attached to my bumper. And then I got my 2 rib nuts that I put in there earlier. I'll be able to take those bolts out and the grill come undone. This bracket that I'm gonna put here somehow, I'm gonna get it off the Jeep and kind of see where I like it, how I want it. And then I'm gonna cut a piece to fit in there. We might do some speed holes up that thing too. Might cut it at an angle. I'm not sure. I'm gonna get it off here where I can actually see it. So that means I gotta unbolt the grill, pull the grill out, unbolt the bumper, pull the bumper off, and then I can mess with it. I know, again, the bumper's coming off again. I told you guys that thing wasn't coming off, but this is gonna be way better, you guys, than those little things. I mean, you can see, I just got it tacked. That thing ain't moving at all. The other good thing about it is, anyways, you guys, my camera kind of died there for a minute, so it lost some of what I was talking about. But these are the rubber things that hold the top of this radiator and core support in. They go like right in there. There's little pockets that these go in, right down in there. Hopefully you can see that. These go down in there. So I need to figure out some way to rubber mount those. I'm gonna try to reuse these. And what they do is, so this is a stock plastic front of the BMW. These screw down in these holes, like so. I got an Allen screw on top, but these are all rubber. So that's kind of how BMW does it. They mount that above that, and then these drop down in, and it holds the top of this radiator, which you can see is moving. This kind of isolates it, still allows it some flex so it doesn't crack the radiator, but it still holds it in position. So I'm going to try to figure something out there. Maybe using these and part of that riveted into this metal. I don't know yet. I just kind of wanted to show you guys where we're getting with that. I'm gonna get this bumper pulled off. We're gonna get these brackets finalized and painted, everything put back together, and then we'll start dealing with that top. Kind of my brackets right there, you guys. That's what's going to hold the upper section of that grill. You can see those are my 2 rib nuts. I just got a little plate here, welded onto the top. So now you can see why I want to run another gusset here to kind of support this, because there's not really anything there. Once I weld it, it'll be a hell of a lot stronger. But now you can see I got my 2 points here where my grill mounts, 2 here, 2 here. That supports the upper section. So I'm gonna work on trying to figure out what I want to do here, and get those tacked in. I'll get that all welded out here. Oh, you guys, we did have somebody finally comment on our whether they wanted to see this brushed nickel or sanded. Somebody said sanded, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I think Seth was the only one that commented on that. So we're gonna actually get those. I'm gonna pull those off one of these days. I got one of them sanded, 3 of them are polished. So I'm gonna pull them off as soon as, well, my air compressor's unfroze now. I gotta get some sandpaper though, for my orbital, because I ran out. But we're gonna get those orbital sanded and put back in there. Like I said, right now 2 of them are polished. No, 3 are polished, 1 is sanded. So we're gonna come back through, we're gonna sand all those, get them reinstalled. I scuffed my paint, dang it. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna get these welded here. I just did want to let you know about that. Somebody did comment. Only one person, so if other people want to comment, they want to see it a different way. Right now we're going with sanded because that's the only one that's commented. So let me know if you guys want to see that different. I'm gonna roll this some more, you guys. It's close. Alright guys, this is kind of the shape I decided to go with. So it's it's actually got a radius this way, but since that piece behind it is at an angle, this has got to kind of tip at an angle too. So, still hot. Imagine that. Let me put my glove on before I fry my fingers. Been doing that a lot lately. It's very hard to hold the camera and do this. So yeah, you guys can kind of see that's tipped over this way, but it's got a radius, kind of matches where the holes are. And literally you're not going to see this section back here. You're only going to see it from this angle. So just kind of gives it a little bit of character. I kind of like it. It'll give this some support. I think what I'm going to do is build one more triangle right here to support the bottom half of this. Going that way maybe, ish, somewhere. Maybe a different piece of material altogether, I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna get this one tacked on there, start working on the other one. So we got the bumper mounted back on here. Here's our pieces. Got our curb piece here, our 2 bolts. I added a piece here, you guys, just keep this from flexing backwards. But it looks pretty awesome. I'm digging it. Oh, the good thing about it too, you guys, this grill is like super stout now. It ain't going nowhere. I mean, nowhere at all. Here's the other side though, a little better view with the light. You can see I radius that piece just to make it kind of look cool. We added this little gusset here to support this lower section. I got to the point, you guys, I didn't want anything running back this way, tied to the old horn, tied to the old Jeep stuff. I just wanted something different. So now this whole grill and everything can come off as one piece, which is pretty awesome. I think I'm gonna cut these tabs off now because I'm not gonna use those. I kind of talked about maybe using them. We're gonna ditch those. And now we're gonna hopefully start moving backwards on this Jeep. I gotta make some mounts here for this stuff, for this. If anyone knows what this stuff is, let me know. But I'm gonna hook it back up because I have no idea what it is. It was originally hooked up. It must be like, I'm assuming this is grounds because it was hooked to like a ground bar, like stud. Let's see if I even got it. Yeah, this guy right here. So that's the original piece. I don't know if this is the right side, but it doesn't look like the right side. That must be over there. Shit, I don't know. Yeah, that was on that side. But there's one on each side. This is a little ground stud that this stuff hooks to. And then this was mounted to the bottom somewhere else. I don't remember where. But this piece that I cut out, you guys. I think you guys saw that on the other videos. That used to mount right there. You can see that black box mounts onto there. So I got to make new things for that. So I may end up cutting that stud out of there and using it. I'll just find an insert that fits it. We'll see. I'm back on this Beep. I'm trying to get this radiator support thing done. You guys saw me working on this plastic. These are the little pucks that hold this radiator in. They go down in these little pockets. So what I did, I took that piece of plastic that you guys saw me messing with, and I hacked on it, you guys. I cut a whole bunch of it out of here. I would have recorded it, but I'm having GoPro issues again. This thing was at 100. I turned it on, it died. It's at 0. So the only way to use my GoPro is to have it plugged in now, apparently. Love this thing. Anyway, sorry, rant on the GoPro again. So that's kind of what I'm making, you guys. This little mount here, it goes right here, the back of this radiator, or not radiator, grill. I'm gonna put a couple rib nuts in here to bolt this thing in. Sorry, I hear something outside. It must be a jet going overhead. I did have to cut these out, you guys. These are really rough. I just hole sawed them. I'm gonna come back through and clean these up. I'm probably gonna kind of slice these at a little bit of an angle so they kind of match. Clean everything up, sand it so they're good and smooth. But what that allows me to do is get to these rubber things and unscrew them. So this thing will be totally removable, so I can pull the grill. And honestly, once I think I get this mounted in there, if I ever need to get into anything in there, this grill unbolts with 6 bolts, and this can stay attached to it, and the whole thing will come out. Shouldn't be a big deal. But that's why I got it out right now. I am gonna put a couple rib nuts in here. I drilled my holes right there, right there. So this piece of angle iron can bolt on there, and it'll hold my radiator in on the top part. The bottom's good. I just needed something on the top. Once I get this done, then I can start working towards these other brackets and moving backwards. Like I keep saying, you guys, I know I keep saying it and saying it, but it's like, I gotta get this little stuff done. I know it's tedious. You guys are probably sick of watching the front end of this Jeep, and I want to start moving backwards, windshield, doing some other cool stuff. I really want to build this roll cage super bad. So I just got to get this little stuff done. So that's kind of where I'm at, you guys. Like I said, my GoPro is dying. It's at 3% right now. So I'm going to have to do the jump back and forth. It's not letting me record while I'm working again. So yeah, I got this thing back on here. I kind of want to show you guys how it mounts. So I kind of cleaned these holes up just a little bit, and they're kind of just, I hole sawed them and then I just kind of cleaned them up. That allows me access to these rubber grommets that hold the top of the radiator in. This is the original plastic piece of the BMW. It bolts in here. Then I put rib nuts in the grill to bolt the angle iron in the front. So now that holds, it gives the upper radiator a little bit of rubber, but it holds it in place. So it's not wobbling all over the dang place. Sorry, that looked kind of funny. I don't know if I told you guys on the other video, I broke this. The upper radiator hose has a little nipple that comes off here, and it hooks to the overflow canister right here. And then I broke this end off too. All the plastic on this car is a little brittle, so kind of broke. But now we got that mounted, you guys. Yeah, I still got to deal with that too, but yeah, now our grill's good and solid. This has a little bit of rubber, so it can still move, but it's in place the same way that it was mounted in the BMW grill. But now it's just in a Jeep grill, and it's removable. I will eventually paint that part someday, you guys. Just not today. I'm gonna move on to trying to make some brackets here, start getting my wires mounted back up, my horn, getting my headlight in the direction it needs to go, getting these wires kind of put up where they need to go. I'm gonna use the original BMW hood latches. I have both of them, and I'm gonna mount them to this Jeep hood somehow. I'm probably gonna have to add some support to this, because that hood, you guys seen it before, it's rough. This hood's super rough, you guys. I'm hoping I can come across a different one. You guys can see somebody's drilled holes in this and bondoed it, and yeah, it's rough. Yeah, the whole main support here is coming off. I think this is supposed to be actually tacked to there, but you can see it's moving. It's 2 separate pieces. So yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with that too. But for now, we got the radiator mounted back the way it's supposed to be. I'm gonna get these parts on order that I broke. It is what it is. Stuff breaks. So I'll get that fixed, and we'll start moving on to these brackets. I Probably gonna wait till next weekend, you guys. I didn't really do a whole lot on it this weekend, but radiator's finally in it, so that's, to me, is a win. It's where it needs to be. I'm gonna deal with this radiator, the smaller radiator, the oil cooler. I'm gonna have to figure out what kind of, I need to extend those lines, is what I need to do. I just gotta figure out how to do it. And I don't know how to yet, so, because I haven't messed with it. So that's kind of where we're at, you guys. I'll show you where I get when I get. So now you can see what I got. So I got my little piece of angle iron here. I notched it, welded it to the body here of the BMW. It just kind of comes out here. Those are the nut certs that were in the original BMW body. I just cut them out, welded them on there. That allows me to mount this. It's a crash sensor. I did the same thing on this one here. You can see the nut cert that was in the actual BMW body. Right there. I just cut it out, welded it to here so that I could bolt that in. Same with this. This was a stud that was in the body. It did the exact same thing. So I get all these grounds mounted. It looks clean, you guys. Like I like it. We got a little bit of wiring stuff going on here. This is headlights. So those will eventually go in there. We got some horn stuff, and I do got this sensor that I still gotta hook up. This gotta go in the grill somewhere. I'm gonna have to look at the BMW plastic piece that's up there. That's where the sensor's at, is in that piece. It's gotta mount in this grill. I don't know if it has to do with heat or what it has to do with, but yeah, that's kind of what I gotta do. I gotta figure out what it is, where it goes, what it does, if I even still need it. I'm guessing I do. It's a sensor for the BMW. That's the majority of this. It's just got a Jeep body on it. So now, mine is just hanging down, you guys. This is all going somewhere else. You can see it's pretty clean up in there. Everything's kind of tucked up underneath the Jeep body. I'm still gonna fix this, you guys. This is down the road a little bit. I like the way it turned out though. So far, pretty simple, you guys. Just a little piece of angle iron. It took me a while to figure out what I was gonna do, but now that it's done, I like, super simple. We're gonna do the exact same thing over here. We're gonna make this easy on ourselves. We're gonna use original BMW pieces, because you guys know I'm trying to build this on a budget. No money's, I'm trying not to put any money into this thing that I don't have to. Most of it's been built out of scrap that I had laying around from other jobs or other projects that I've done in the past, where I just bought a full sheet of something, we threw it together. The only thing I have bought is this metal right here, and I actually bought it for the sides, and then ended up not using it there. All the tubing I had from other jobs, roll cages or whatever, remnants from something, so I'm literally not into this very far, you guys, so money-wise. We're gonna start working on this side next. Yeah, so we got all of our grounds right here, same thing. Our crash sensor we gotta get put in. That'll hold, and then we're gonna mount it to here to hold our power steering reservoir. We're gonna get that knocked out. It's getting kind of late, you guys. It's a Sunday night. It's almost 11 o'clock, and I do have to work in the morning at I gotta get up at like 4:30 to make it to work on time, so I may call it quits on this tonight. We're gonna call that side good. It's done, it's painted, everything's kind of mounted where it needs to be, minus the wiring. I gotta still run those headlights when I can afford to buy halo lights, because I'm putting halos in here. Yeah, so I may call it quits, and we'll deal with this one later. I'm sure my wife's wondering why I'm not in the house sleeping when I gotta work tomorrow. But yeah, that really cleaned this up, you guys. and it's plenty of support. I mean, there's a little bit of vibration, but it's, man, it's pretty good. All right, I think we're gonna call it quits, you guys. I really do kind of want to get this done, but it's late. I do gotta work at my normal job, so I guess we'll catch you guys next weekend. You guys will see it a lot quicker than it's actually gonna happen, so I'll catch you guys next time. We'll see where I get when I get.